Hey everybody. I'm doing a video response to Dave Wade's video, Lone Boys Post 1975, who, by the way, I think if we did a poll or a vote, has the best intro music of all of us. I thought it was like a well-known song or some, a clip of something, but it's not. It's just an original piece of music, just performed very well. So, that aside, Dave did a video on, I thought this was ace. I thought it was a really good subject. He did a video on his top 10 arcade games. Like video games that you played in the arcade on a cabinet. And I'm not sure why that landed with me so well, but I thought it was a very good question because I suppose much of my own and not just mine, but yours probably too, gaming experience is based on, at least in part, on what you played in the arcade. For some, it will be all about the console, but it wasn't for me. You know, I was born in 1971. And the first video game that I ever saw, it's like an imprint on a duck, was an arcade machine. That's the first time someone had to explain it to me. I thought, what is that? You can play a video game. Wow, I thought, really? You play a video game? Wow, that's cool. And I thought, well, let's go, let's do it. But you had to pay money, and that was a big letdown. Because I in most countries, I hear people say that playing an arcade game was like 100 yen in Japan, or 10p in the UK, or 25 cents in the United States. For us, it was a guilder, like a whole coin, regardless of the exchange rate. That was our one coin, like your $1 or your, I don't know, what the 1 yen? I don't think, no, 100 yen. I don't know what the yen, but your sort of one coin, which was basically a lot, You'd either buy bread or play a video game. And if you had a bad day, you sort of found, I was 8 or whatever. And I didn't have an allowance. It just didn't work that way in our family. So I never had any money. I had to save it up or do a job or get it or steal it. And I'd have some money. And then you'd go to the place, my place to go to the arcade, it was in my street. There was a cafeteria or fish and chip shop, sort of a thing that we have. And they had one to draw customers, and there was one machine, and it would change over time. 1 year it would be this, and then they would take it out and put in a new one. And but if you had a bad day, you could play Galaga, put in your guilder, play Galaga, and you'd be shot to bits on like the first level, and that would be your money gone. So that was another defining thing. You had to pay money to play those games. I wanted to, but I didn't have money. So that when the consoles came, or rather when the video pack came, I thought, ooh, this is a chance to play those games at home. But the quality was much, much less. So it was okay that it was free, but it wasn't the same. The sound certainly wasn't the same. The graphics weren't the same. And then the Atari 2600 came. My friend had one. I thought, well, this is going to be the thing, And now we're going to be able to play the arcade games at home for free. That was the thing. You could play to your heart's content and not have to pay anything. So, but the 2600, it was fine. But the gap between the quality that you saw in the arcade, and then if I went to the real, we had a place called Fortuna, which was a big arcade. It was full of nothing but arcade machines, and they had everything there. They had the latest of the latest and the biggest, and I saw the Afterburner with the moving cabinet, the Outrun, the sit down deluxe edition thing. We had the twin motor races. We had the 4-player gauntlet. We had the Dragon's Lair machine, and it just rows and rows and rows, full of it. I spent a lot of money there. As I was a little bit older, I had some more money to spend, and I could easily spend all my money in there and have a blast. So, arcades, they were the start of my gaming career. And then, when the Commodore came, I started looking because the Commodore was able, in some cases, to get really close to the games that I saw. And I went to look for the perfect port of Galaga or Donkey Kong or Crazy Kong in my case. And even the slightest deviation from the port, the music or the level design or the graphics or the sound effects, or if anything was off, this is shit, this is not what I'm looking for. I wanted the perfect port on my Commodore. So now, these days, we're talking 2016, there are people capable of porting games like Donkey Kong Jr. to the Commodore 64 in a way that would have made me so happy when I was a kid. And I thought, oh, finally. And that eternal search for being able to play the game for free. For some reason, that just... It's a money thing for me. Anyway, Dave asked, what are your 10 favorite arcade games? I'm going to name them. This is not a list. I'm going to start. I've never done this before, but this is going to be a list from 10 to 1, sort of indicating the one that I liked most or that I have the best memory. This is not like the best game competition, because there are games in here you're going to think that, oh, what? That's your favorite? Yeah, that's my favorite because I have the best sort of memory, and I'll try to explain why. So here we go. I'm going to cut in some gameplay. So Dave did it that way, so I'll do it that way as well. Number 10 is Gauntlet. Gauntlet was one of those intimidating machines. I think I put in a coin once or twice, but on your own, it wasn't the thing. You were supposed to play that with your friends, like, with 4 people. That made it fun. But there was just so many ghosts on the screen, and you shot them all. You didn't die immediately, even though if you were attacked by that many enemies in Galaga, you'd be dead in a second. But not in this game. This made me feel powerful for some reason, and I liked Gauntlet. Although I was a little bit afraid and intimidated by it. Now I think, I'm sort of collecting copies of it, but electronic downloads and things on MAME and whatever. So, but I like Gauntlet. I think I have it on the NES. I have it on a couple of platforms. Also a game that it's very hard to port to a home console, but this was number 10.
Welcome. Treasure 100 points.
The speech. I've forgotten about the speech.
Say keys to open doors.
Not bad, eh? This. A million enemies. Yeah, you die in the end.
Oh, warrior is about to die. Oh.
I got some food.
Oh.
And I put in an extra coin. That's the way it worked. Now I'm gonna die.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
You can't.
I've not seen such bravery.
Is that funny or what? I've not seen such bravery. Number 9 is Manx TT. I didn't really know the name of this game. I thought it was Moto GP or whatever. I liked this game only in the arcade because we had like the twin bike setup, and I used to go with my friend Paul. You know, we'd go clubbing, but before we did, we just go in there and just race the hell out of that game. It was just him and me, both on one of these bikes, and you sort of lean to the side to make it go around corners and stuff. It was just so much fun, and I'd put all my money in that. And at the end, you know, when we were done after like 1 or 2 hours of that, we'd step outside the arcade. And I can remember one time I'd have steam coming off my shoulders because I was so warm. And it must have been cold outside. I had steam coming off me from playing that game. So that's just like an ace memory. The game probably isn't that good. I had to download it. But it's a good memory. Now, number 8 is Dragon's Lair. I couldn't believe what I saw when I saw that. You know, I knew graphics. I'd seen graphics, but this was just another level. I just couldn't understand what I was seeing until someone said, "Oh, you know, it's a Laserdisc game." Okay, so that makes sense. And then someone explained, "Oh, it's like a quick time event kind of thing. So you have to react when the screen flashes, and you have to." It's sort of diminished the gameplay for me personally. Because I thought that it would be like a regular game where you could actually move the character around. With those graphics, that would have been magic. Or that's kind of what we have now. But in those days, that was just impossible. But Dragon's Lair has always been one of those games that I thought, wow, you know. I even bought the Commodore 64 copy, which is actually quite good. I think I even bought a tape version. And that's the only game that I ever really bought for the Commodore. But Ace game, I never played it in the arcade. Why? Because it wasn't 1 guilder, it was $2.50, right? $2.50, $2.50, £2.50. Can you imagine? Nobody played that game. Then number 7 is Afterburner. Fortuna had the Afterburner cabinet right at the entrance. They also had Outrun there at a later or an earlier stage. I can't quite remember. But Afterburner, the complete thing with the cabinet over you and the flight stick and the cabinet would move. It was just such a fast game, and it looked so difficult, but it kind of played quite easy. You know, it was quite forgiving. It wasn't a very hard game, but it would look and feel ace when you're in it, you know. Afterburner with the sound and the effects and the speed and everything. I loved it. I loved Afterburner. That was just a great, still like, I mean, it's a good title, you know.
Get ready.
Stage 2, alright. It's great or what? Oh, fucking hell. Am I dead? No. I'm gonna go again. Oh man! It's just so fast, I don't know where to look. Come on. Oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. It's kicking my ass. Oh, wait, okay. Not bad. For just doing something. Forgotten about the music though. It's pretty good. I thought you were supposed to be able to lock on. I can see a lock symbol, but it doesn't... Ah, that's it. I love it. It's great. Well, number 6 is Outrun. In that same spot, they put and these things took up a huge amount of space, right? The Outrun sit-down cabinet. A harder game, but the music. I could just stand there and watch people play it, and it wasn't a hard game to understand, but pretty difficult to finish. I tried a couple of times. Another intimidating big machine, but it's just iconic. There must have been 100 machines in there, but that Outrun thing that drew all the attention. If you came in there on a busy night, then all the people would be in the front playing all the popular games. And in the back, way in the back, there would be Qbert and there would be Tron and there would be a Pac-Man machine. And, nobody was playing those games. But the really new and popular ones were in the front.
Get ready.
Here we go. And into high gear. There we go. Woohoo! Look at that. No. Yeah, here we go. I used to just pedal to the... Oh, fuck. I used to just go pedal to the metal, but... better not to, actually. See, I saved myself there. Checkpoint. Oh, man. Low gear. Come on. Oh, imagine this in the arcade, guys. Ah, fuck! I stink. Come on, I'm not gonna make it. 8 seconds, forget it. Forget it. I don't think I ever made it to the end. Number 5 is Donkey Kong Jr. By the way, I have 11. games on here, and I forgot one. So, yay me. Donkey Kong Jr. This is a cabinet that we had in our chip shop. And by this time, I'd been sort of introduced to games. I knew about them. Donkey Kong Jr., with the vines and the jumping and the electric stuff going to and fro and the birds flying over the screen. It's just something about the graphics of that game and the hit detection, like the little ape that jumps on the platform and sort of has a very wide hit detection, so you can. I don't know. It had a certain feel, and I liked it. I really liked that game. There we go. I can't really remember this intro scene, though. I remember this. These are the platforms. Well, there we go. Don't you love this? I love this. Oh shit, I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die. Stupid monkey. Ah! Just made that. It's quite tricky though. There we go. No, walk! Ah, crap. Why? At least finish the stupid level. Ah! I'm so dumb. I'm not even gonna do the first level. I'm gonna try again. Come on. Forget the points, just get across. Here we go. Let's go. Why? What the hell is wrong? Why am I not going down? Leave me alone. Got it. Yep. It's just 500 points, but who cares? I just wanted to see the next level. Oh, right. Okay. No. I said go down. My joystick isn't playing fair. Down! Not left, down! Fuck. Forget it. It was nice. I hate it. Number 4 is a game I don't know if it's a very well-known game. It's called Turtles. Nothing Turtles, Teenage Mutant, Ninja, whatever. Turtles game. A very simple game. A Pac-Man-like game. You go through a maze. You go into these little alcoves and you pick up a little baby turtle that crawls onto your back, and then you go bring it home. And there's other animals after you when you can drop like shits. The thing that I loved about this game, this had ports on the video pack. A port on the video pack that was actually a good port on the video pack. That's unbelievable. It's almost the same game. It's graphically not a very challenging game to port, and in none of the other ways it is. So it's easy to port. I saw a port on the Intellivision, which was good, and there was so many. Finally, there was a game that you could have at home. It was number 51 on the video pack. It's still an expensive game on the video pack because it's so good. Turtles. I still love the game Turtles. Play it. Turtles. Here we go. Nice bit of music. Here we go. Yeah, that was smart. Death. Fuck. That was easy. It's a nice game, but it's harder than I thought. Number 3 is Kangaroo. Who knows Kangaroo? It's one of the first cabinets that I ever saw. And that's sort of one of those imprint things, you know. It's you hop around as a kangaroo and you can punch. You know, that was when we were. I was so used to the first 1 or 2 games that I'd seen until that time, and now there was Kangaroo. And I sort of had to learn the new mechanic. And the new mechanic was that you could hit monkeys, which was funny. It was just funny. And it was sort of the same thing. You know, you hop around. It's a platformer, and you go up, and you go to the next, and there's apples being thrown at you by these monkeys. And you can punch the monkeys and dodge the apples and go up and save your kid or something like that. Kangaroo, another great classic. Kangaroo, there we go. That's one monkey down. Oh. Yeah. Made it. Oh, okay. Now we the platforming. All right. I'm not sure what kind of engine they used for this. Peculiar graphics. Ah, he threw it low. Should have ducked. Missed me, asshole. I think they have to actually go get apples to hit me with. Oh, what's this? I've never seen that guy before. Big purple gorilla. Okay, apparently you have to stand there and... Okay. Okay, there's a big one. Oh, God. There's so much happening. I like this. And then at number 2 is Galaga. I think Galaga was the second cabinet that we had. And it was just... Galaga is a very misleading kind of game. I have a Galaga cabinet standing right here. Not the cabinet itself's not Galaga, but the game is. I have a bootleg PCB. But... it's deceiving in its simplicity because in its technical simplicity. The background, you can tell a good port from a bad one by looking at how the background star field moves, how the colors change, the music, the sound effects, the way the sprites come onto the screen. I've seen so many bad ports of this game that I thought this game must be impossible to port. For some reason, the intelligence, and you play the first 5-10 levels the most, of course, but on the later levels, there's these very colorful enemies, and they have different patterns, and it's actually like a miracle to see what kind of enemies will be in the next level, and you'd stand next to someone who would be playing the game was better than you. Go to level 15 and level 20, and you'd see stuff that you'd never seen before. It's like a Pandora's box. It was. I loved Galaga. I still love Galaga. Still a hard game. I know people who can go to level 65 on the thing. I can't. Level 10, maybe 160,000 points. I think is my top score. But I love Galaga. I love getting my ass kicked by Galaga, basically. Okay, here goes. There's one game in the world that deserves auto fire, it's this one. Don't get me. There we go. Next one. Let's go. Oh, wasn't looking. Come on. Get this one. Now, let ourselves be captured. Because the level after this is the bonus level, and you can get perfect score. There we go. And it positions itself perfectly if you wait for the last... there we go. All I have to do is stand here and pounce the button. I don't have to move. Just stand here and fire and you get everything. And that gives you 10,000 points. And an extra life. There we go. Which I'm gonna need because I'm gonna lose one in this level. Because I'm too wide. And too slow. Oh, darn it. Come on. No! That was close. I would have been dead. That was close too. No! Ah! What was that? Oh, okay. Ah, I love this game. It makes me sweat though. And then the best game for me is also the first game, which is Crazy Kong. And Crazy Kong is, and I've talked about this before, Crazy Kong was a licensed version of Donkey Kong, licensed by Falcon, a UK-based company, and they changed the game. They changed the sound effects and they changed the level order. And that became, for me, that became my version of Donkey Kong. I didn't call it. It was called Crazy Kong. And that was my that was that first cabinet that someone said, "Hey, there's a video game in here." So what's that? I saw that they had sort of a brown thing in the corner. So what is it? It's a video game. Wow, I thought, hey, it's cool. Play a video game. Who doesn't want to do that? Why wasn't everyone inside? And that's when I learned that you had to put in money, and there was a few guys. I spent so much time in there. There was a few guys, one of which who was able to finish the game on one coin. And we'd stand there. If we saw Franco, who was the kid who did that, if we saw him walking towards the chip shop, we knew he was going to play. And he didn't want a whole following, but he did have one. So we'd stand around the cabinet, around Franco. There'd be like 10 sweaty boys looking at Franco play the game. And I can remember standing there for hours. I never bought anything, which was the whole goal of the the proprietor of getting that cabinet in there so that people would come in, play games, and order stuff. But nobody ever ordered anything. We'd go in there, stand there for hours with the 10 of us on one coin, and then leave without buying anything. So it sort of misfired for the guy, but it was just such an amazing. It's my first video game experience ever, and I love watching Franco play the game as much as anything. So, it was just an amazing experience, and that is my main. That's the other cabinet that I have here. I have I have a Crazy Kong PCB, which I'm very fond of. But it's very hard to, if you go on MAME and you have to type in Donkey Kong, you get Donkey. But to get the Crazy Kong thing is it's less easily available because not many people know it. But when you make Mario jump, he says "Weeah." He doesn't do that, and I think the sound effects in the normal Donkey Kong game are lame. That stupid tune, you don't have that in Crazy Kong. Crazy Kong is better, in my opinion. All right, get ready for some new sounds. Crazy Kong. There we go. Hear that? I think that's a sample, actually. Oh, Jesus. Come on, I'm not showing the best of gameplay here. This joystick wants me to be very precise with all the movements. No. There we go. There we go. This cement factory now. And there we go. And now it's the elevators, and it's the same order of levels all the way through to the last level. This level is different as well in the sense that you can jump. If the fireball wasn't there, you could. See if we can make this. See? Can do that. And then you go up. Yep. That shortcut only works in the first few levels because when the elevators speed up, it doesn't work anymore. No! Oh. My mistake. So close. There we go. Give up. I've never seen anyone give up. Just die. Well, anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.